There's a number of challenges, and they start right out at sourcing that data, going all the way through to how the data is used. So when we look at a business, and a lot of the businesses we're talking to at the moment, investment data is kind of a new term to them. Some of them have been coming to terms with this concept of investment data and have got a view on it. Some firms are using traditional front office platforms or trading book of record to get some analytic data or to get transactional data. Other firms are using their accounting book of records or their back office to get this. Where we see the real challenges is actually pulling all that together in one clear, consistent view for what we call an investment book of records, or IBOR. Effectively, your IBOR allows you to address the challenges around providing near real-time data, cleaner, better data to the stakeholders within the business that need it. If you think about IBOR almost a bit like the relationship between an engine to a race car, you can have a fantastic race car, which you could, in the wealth management terms, look at maybe your web front end, your relationship managers, but if they haven't got the right engine in that race car, then you can't exactly expect to win a race. So it's about just providing you with that really good engine. I think some of the challenges also include the business's view on investment data as well. So we can talk about investment data, and it comes from a number of different sources, but if the business hasn't got the vision of how to use the data and how to engage the customers and the relationship managers with this data, then installing an IT solution isn't going to work. That's a difficult question to answer because it's going to change depending on where you sit within the business. When you look at, for example, front office versus back office, management and customers, they're all going to have a different view on what they need out of the investment data. Front office are going to want near real-time views. They're going to want to be able to perform analytics, so be that performance analytics or exposure analytics. Look at what they're exposed to by market, by currency, by region. You look at the operations side of the business, they're going to want to be able to work out how to drive operational efficiency. So then taking that data and being able to use it to do reporting to management, and customers are constantly driving the business to be able to digest that information in a number of different ways. So in terms of the biggest challenges, there's quite a few out there, but it's really going to depend on where you're coming from in the business. I think the biggest challenge is how to take investment data and differentiate yourself from everyone else. It can come from a number of different sources. So again, being able to have that vision and being able to use the investment data to engage customers. I think the product universe out there isn't getting any, well, it's certainly very well defined. So we're all playing off of some level of playing field. When you look at the people in the market, obviously, you need to make sure you've got the best relationship managers, and obviously they are limited to what they can offer by the products that the firm's offering. Using your investment data to be able to get ahead of the curve, again, using IBOR type information analytics to be able to predict what's going to happen based on trading patterns and data patterns that have happened historically, can help provide a significant advantage and a real differentiator. What's important is that firms really focus on their core competency. To be honest, my experience tells me that the answer is actually both. There is very much a good case to buy some things, and there's a case to build some things. In terms of what you have to look at is what's going to get you your best bang for your buck. When we look at, again, something like IBOR or performance analytics, you've got to make sure that your investment book of records has a broad enough data model, is robust, is scalable, and that's I'm not sure there's too many people in this room who have an appetite to build out something that significant. We're seeing lots of drivers towards increasing sophistication around performance analytics. And again, is that something that you as a business want to own and maintain going forward, or is that something you'd rather go and get off the shelf and focus on your core competency and maybe build some pieces around the outside that have your IP and therefore stamp your differentiation on them? So I think it's really about what's more beneficial for the end customer, keeping the end customer in mind, and how to service them best. and improve their capabilities, because again, they're being driven by the customers. We know customers are maturing, so they're going to want more sophisticated analytics. When you scratch beneath the surface, it's not actually the analytics that are causing them problems. A lot of the times it's the data management that sits behind it. It's the ability to be able to manage that data more effectively, with less complication, to be able to have one central source of very clean, good quality data to then be able to leverage and do sophisticated analytics on. So in terms of investment data's relationship or importance to performance analytics, it's vital. And again, going back to a car analogy, if you put dirty fuel into an engine, your car's not going to run very well. So again, it's just making sure that what goes in is clean, sensible and quality data. We're certainly seeing a lot of discussions around modernisation, and wealth managers being driven to modernise their analytics platforms for a number of different reasons. We're seeing because of customer appetite, the desire to serve up more sophisticated analytics for their customers, and the growing level of asset classes as well. Scale is also an issue that I know is out there and that people need to address. Some platforms don't scale as well. They were built years ago and require a bit of a refresh. On the asset class broadening subject, we know that Asia has a good affair with fixed income, and one of the key areas that we're seeing a lot of growth and interest around performance analytics is actually fixed income attribution. So we're being driven into conversations around how can they improve their attribution capability. Equity attribution models are no longer good enough for fixed income, and you can't just treat it as cash. And there are some great technologies, there are some great advancements out there that are helping move that conversation more towards a more efficient fixed income attribution and performance measurement capability.